One question that often comes up with significant figures is when you yourself are recording a measurement, how many significant figures do you use on that measurement? This will come up a lot when you're measuring, say, volumes in a burette while you're doing a titration. So the rule to use here is the last significant figure is the first uncertain digit. What that means is if you have a scale that you're measuring on, you have some gradations in this. I have a ruler here so that you can see, so we can do an example with this. You'll have to guess what's in between the lines. Now, this ruler isn't the best. This is what it just happens to be in this app. It doesn't have numbers on it. So we're gonna add some numbers of our own here. But we'll say measure this, and we have to guess at some point what the last significant figure is. So let's just do that. Let me just sort of demonstrate. So we're starting our measurement from this tick mark here, right here. So we'll call this one 0. Imagine we're measuring, say, the length of a box or length of a piece of paper. And we need to know, how well do we know this measurement? Okay, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So we know that this is 8. Let's say this is inches. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be inches. And then these smaller tick marks we have, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these measure down to an eighth. Most measurements we'll take in chemistry will be divided into 10 instead of groups of 8 like this. This is common with rulers, but if you have a centimeter ruler, so this is obviously intended to be inches. Okay, so we know 8 is definitely significant. This is 8 point something inches long. All right, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is 4 tick marks, so it's 0.5, and we have to decide, is it past? It depends on which side of the line we want to measure on. Let's say it's like a little bit past this half mark, so it's 8.5. And then this last digit that's not explicitly shown here, this is where we have to guess. We have to estimate how much is it past the half mark. It looks to be just barely past the half mark, so maybe I'd say 8.51. Now this digit I had to guess. I should not say guess, let's say estimate. And this would be our last significant digit. So when we're writing down a measurement, that's how we determine what is the last significant digit. It's the first one that's uncertain. If you're, say, measuring instead a electronic readout, we'll do this when we're looking at an electrochemistry experiment where we measure concentrations of chloride using electrochemistry. Say we have a number that's like 1.578 volts, but this digit fluctuates, right? So it shifts up to 9 and sometimes goes down to 7. This would be our first uncertain digit. This would be our last significant digit. So we would record this number as 1.57, and we have to estimate, does it spend more time on 7, 8, or 9? Maybe it spends about equal in all those, so we average and say, okay, it's about 8. So that would determine that we would write this down to 4 significant digits. And so the number of significant digits you're able to write down depends on the measurement technique that you're using. The more precise it is, the more significant figures you'll have. The less precise it is, the less significant figures you'll have.